Welcome to Talk with Taz Live. As we wrap up our three-part segment on keeping it real with yourself, I want to remind everyone of some of the things that we've covered. We've discussed the importance of understanding what you emphasize and why you don't take your own advice, and whether you are in fact pulling yourself down versus the other crabs in the bucket. We discussed the importance of the connection between the effort that you put forth and the outcomes that you actually receive. We have to work. And if we work hard, typically we're going to have a fairly good outcome. It just may require quite a bit of work. Well, today, as we begin to wrap all of this up, I want to talk about the example that we set and the example that we set for those who are closest to us. Sometimes it's easy to talk about living our best life, affirmations, we're stronger, you can do it. We're that rah, rah, rah cheerleader for people who are external to us. But how are we when it relates to the individuals who are our closest connection? Sometimes we find that we set a great example for those who don't live within our walls, but those people who live with us and see us each day, we don't always set the best example for them. And the question that I've been pondering over the last couple of days is why? And this morning I thought about contradictions. Now, when you see people on Facebook, or you see people at church or on the job or out in the street, or you're watching TV or movies, whatever, you see the very best of that individual. And some people say, well, Dr. Taz, you don't have any makeup on. No, I don't. Because I didn't grow up wearing a lot of makeup. So I like to be no makeup. But you're still getting the best of me. But you usually see the best of that person. But when you're in your home environment, when you are with your friends, they see the real you. They see the real you. So is it hard to keep it real with them because they quote unquote actually know who you are? But is that not part of life's contradictions? There are many sides to each of us. Just because the people closest to you know things that individuals on the external, the outside world don't know, it doesn't mean that you don't set a good example for them. I think about my sister, and she would say, oh, please don't bring me into this, Dr. Taz, but I'm bringing it in this morning. She would tell you that what you see is what she has gotten her whole life. She didn't like it growing up. Sometimes now she doesn't like it, but that's okay. She knows that I want the best for her. So I tell it like it is because I just want better. But everybody can't do that because sometimes people don't understand, those closest to you, that you can spout all this great wisdom, all this and that, but still have a bad day and throw a temper tantrum. Because, adults throw temper tantrums also. And so I find sometimes that we may decide not to expound all the wisdom because maybe the family members are resistant because they see the real us. But do we do them a disservice? Because then that goes down to being the best that you can be. Because we were talking about all of this as it relates to career and taking our own advice and why we don't. If I'm not willing to take the chance to be a good example for my family or my friends, those individuals who are closest to me, am I letting myself down? Am I letting them down? What does it profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul? Meaning you got the accolades on the outside. You've got the cars, you've got whatever it is that makes you feel good that's external, but you don't have that connection that's an internal bond with your family. They're the ones that's there when you don't have the car. They're the one when no one's calling you. You're not getting any likes or loves on social media. They're the ones that are there. So would it not be important to be real with them and be real with yourself? So as we come to a conclusion, I want to suggest that we don't buy into our own cover story. that we don't get sidetracked by accolades, that we forget to take what we do on the outside and apply it at home. Because we have to be anchored. And that anchoring comes from our family and our friends. And that is what allows us to then go out and pour into other people. It also helps us with our job satisfaction. It helps us with our productivity on our jobs. Because when I need to vent, it's probably not a good idea for me to vent on the job. I need to come home to a safe place and vent. But I also need to know that that individual understands that that's just another component of who I am. It doesn't mean that I'm not Dr. Taz or Dr. Smith or whatever, but I'm a human being. And sometimes I do have to be real. So let's vow to be real with ourselves and to be real with those who care the most about us. Because when we're real, we're really more open to what is out there versus being closed. When you're closed off, sometimes you second guess everything too much. But today, let's just learn to be real as we pursue our careers and as we pursue relationships. Relationships have to be cultivated. They're just like careers. They're not a destination. It's a journey that you have to encounter day in and day out. This has been Talk with Taz Live. I hope each of you have a great day. Until next week, take care of you. Bye now.